Hey there, everyone. This is Mr. Lamb, and this is the key to the Unit 8 circles test. We're going to jump right in. This page is worth 12 points. This first question over here is worth 4 total points. All right, A, B, C, D, each worth a point. And there are several answers that you could go with here. I'm just going to give you a couple of them. So for part A, you have to name one minor arc. A minor arc is going to take 2 points on the circle. So I look over there and I can see C and D. So C, D. Make sure you put an arc over top of that C, D. Again, D, E, E, F, B, F, B, C, B, E, E, C. There are a whole bunch of possible answers there that you could have went with. A semicircle has to be half of the circle, so the two ends have to be on the same diameter, and you need to have a point in between them along the circle. So if I'm thinking here, this distance from C all the way around to F, that goes through point B, so that would be C, B, F, is a semicircle. That is half of an entire circle. All right, number 3, major arc. Again, it needs 3 points, and it must be bigger than a semicircle. So if I start here at C, and I start going around, I can go through B, and go through F, and go through E, and I can end all the way over here at D if I want. So I could call that a myriad of things. It could be C, B, D. As long as C and D are on the ends, that's my start and stop point. And I have at least 1 point in between that it goes through. I'm in real good shape there. Again, there are a whole bunch of answers that could be, though. And then letter D says name of the circle. And I want to use the word circle. And this is circle. And I want to name it by its center. So this is centered at A. So this circle is called circle A. All right, moving on to question 2. Question 2 has 6 different parts, so question 2 is worth 6 points. We've got a point for each part. And it says for circle A, so I'm going to leave that picture up there in the upper right. It says FC, so this whole distance here, FC, the diameter is 24, so that tells me that the radius here is 12. Those are both 12s. It says the measure of arc FB, so this arc down here at the bottom is 25 degrees. And arc DE up here is 13 degrees. And it wants me to find the following. Leave your answer in terms of pi in simplest fraction or radical term. So the first thing it wants me to find, and let me lock these things in place here real quick so I can erase over top of them. All right. First one it wants me to find is BDF. So start at B, go through D, and end at F. It wants to know how big is that arc. I know that an entire circle is 360 degrees. And this is all but that BF arc, so all but 25 of it is taken care of. So if I do 360 minus 25, I get 335 degrees for the answer to A. All right, let's take a look at B. It wants me to find ECB, so ECB, so from E through C to B. Well, as I look at this, I'm going to show you the semicircle here. BD is a diameter. So from BCD, this half is 180, plus an extra 13. So I have to do 180 plus an extra 13 is 193 degrees for part B. Part C, it wants me to find the circumference, and I know that C is equal to pi times the diameter. And I know that the diameter is 24. So the diameter is 24, and the circumference is 24 pi. The area of a circle is pi times radius squared. Well, if the radius is 12, then the area is 12 squared, which is 144 pi. For part E, it wants me to find the arc length, which means I need circumference, but I need a fraction of the circumference. So I need some fraction out of 360 times the circumference, which we know is 24 pi. All right, so the arc length of BC. So this arc right here, BC. I need to find that angle, or that arc. And I know that CF, that's a semicircle, so that whole thing there would be 180. But I don't need 25% of it, so this arc here has to be 155, because 155 plus 25 would give me 180. So this is 155. And then I just type that into a calculator and leave my answer as a fraction. 155 times 24, and then divide by 360 is 31 over 3. So this is 31 over 3 pi as a final answer. All right, and then the last problem, the area of sector FAB. Here is FAB right here. The area of that sector, very similar to arc length. I need some fraction out of 360. But now I want the area of the sector, so I'll multiply by the area, which we know is 144 pi. Found that in part D. So I need that angle measurement, and I can see that the arc BF is 25 degrees. I go ahead and put 25 on top. And then again, 25 times 144 divided by 360 is 10. So this answer is 10. And don't forget pi. So that answer is 10 pi. And the last 2 points. The last 2 points here in question number 3, if you were able to find the radius and the diameter. So it says find the radius and diameter of a circle whose circumference is equal to 60. Now this is not 60 pi. This is circumference is 60. All right, well I know the formula is C equals pi d. So if the circumference is 60, I just take this 60 and I substitute that in. So what does that look like? Well, that means 60 is equal to pi times the diameter. Well, in order to get d, to solve this equation for d, I have to divide both sides by pi. Pi divided by pi will be 1. And d is 60 over pi, which is approximately 19.1. Real close to 19.1 meters. All right, I'm going to move that over. So if the diameter is 60 over pi, and then the radius is half of a diameter, and I can just take this and multiply it by 1/2. So that means the radius is 60 over 2 pi, which is actually 30 divided by pi. So my radius is 30 over pi. which is about 9.5, something like that, 9.5 or 9.6 meters. Was not overly concerned with how you rounded it, as long as it was somewhere in that ballpark, 9.5, 9.6, right around 19.1. As long as you were pretty close to that, I did give you credit for that one. So anytime you're dividing by pi, those numbers can get pretty crazy. So that's it for page number 1.